TMCnet at NextCom 2008.
Hello again and welcome. I'm Erik Linask, coming to you once again from NextCom 2008 in Las Vegas. It's my pleasure now to be joined by CEO of Accedian Networks, Patrick Ostiguy. Welcome, Patrick.
Thanks, Erik.
Can you get us started by telling me a little bit about Accedian Networks?
Sure. Actually, Accedian Networks really is a vendor of network equipment dedicated in the space of Ethernet demarcation, providing service creation, so traffic shaping, bandwidth policing, and so on and so forth. But also a very important component of our business is SLA metering. So we provide SLA metering solutions, so in a space which we call service assurance. So allowing service providers to create an overlay on their existing infrastructure to offer value-added SLAs, being able to not only offer SLAs, but guarantee them, measure them, monitor them, and provide the information to their end customers on a web portal, for instance.
Fantastic. So, and how does the whole SLA metering scenario fit into what you're looking to accomplish here at NextCom?
Well, at NextCom, a lot of the service providers and carrier walking the show are really looking for solutions to help them when they're actually interfacing with other carriers. A lot of the SLA's prime interest these days is in the inter-carrier handoffs, whether it's for outsourced backhaul of mobile traffic, whether it's for wholesale Ethernet, whether it's for just filling a hole in a geographical section of a network that they don't cover. So there's a lot of that, and a lot of service providers are looking for solutions to help them do that.
And you've got, you mentioned one of the things that you're announcing here is focused around SLA automation.
Correct. The new product which we're announcing at this show is called the Echo Vault, which essentially is an SLA EMS, which allows to monitor a large amount of appliances in the network which do provide SLA assurance. So we actually, in that same platform, allow for automation of service creation and service assurance. And one of the main things that we provide as a differentiator is the ability to see what's going on a second-per-second basis. A lot of the solutions out there use a lot of averaging, a lot of polling, and really provide a lot of approximation. We really see what's going on a second-per-second basis. And combining this new SLA EMS with our existing series of appliances, which are the Ether NIDs and the Metro NIDs, really create a compelling story when it comes to the resolution of the measurements as well as the precision of the measurements which are provided by our appliances.
Great. And you've also got something surrounding the traffic shaping, correct?
Correct. We actually just announced what we call zero latency traffic shaping, which is a new feature on our MetroNID series of appliances, which essentially builds on the existing feature set which provided service mapping and bandwidth policing, but adding on to that essentially traffic shaping in a non-latency way. And let me explain it to the audience a little more. Obviously, shaping by definition would have some latency associated to it, but the fact that we've incorporated a zero buffer, zero latency, real-time queue as part of this shaper allows for the real-time traffic not to undergo any latency or jitter as it passes through our systems. So that's really important for service providers that are offering real-time services such as voice over IP, such as transactional services, video, or backhaul of wireless services, which are really mandated to be very performant in terms of latency and jitter.
Some of these new products and solutions like the ones that you're announcing here today, they're really being driven by increased complexity of network infrastructure, as well as the applications and solutions that run on those networks, right?
Correct. There's really three big drivers for our solutions. I would say the first one is the emergence of Ethernet services as they stand, and that emergence has happened, I mean, for the past 5 years. We've seen an increasing growth. And obviously, an SLA for a T1 or a T3, can go by just a piece of paper, and there's really no question about latency and throughput and so on and so forth because of the deterministic value or deterministic nature of TDM circuits. When it comes to Ethernet, it's very different. Performance is not a given, especially when you're going through complex networks. And the complexity of the networks is the second driver of for our solutions. The amount of consolidation that's happened over the past couple of years in terms of mergers and acquisitions in the service provider side has created essentially a big hodgepodge of networks which are connected together, and you get those mega carriers now which have to offer a service from LA all the way to New York, which cross lots of legacy or many service providers which were glued together. And to offer a consistent and uniform service from end to end is really a challenge for them, and that's really where we come in. And the third aspect of it is really the advent of the ubiquitous internet, such as 4G. The 4G wireless rollouts that are happening today are really an effort that is using a lot of carriers connected together. So, for instance, the large operators which cannot get the coverage to all of the cell sites that they want to install these new 4G services are using third-party backhaul providers, and then again, carrier-to-carrier handoffs, lots of SLAs that have to be negotiated, defined, verified, and reported on.
Fantastic. Again, we've been talking with CEO of Accedian Networks, Patrick Ostiguy. Patrick, thanks for sharing with us, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you very much, Erik.
Thanks.
My pleasure.